Everybody, in this video we're going to start working with transformations, and the transformation that we're going to start with is a pretty similar sounding word. We're going to look at translations. A translation is a type of transformation. Now, in a translation, what you do is you take a shape like this triangle and then you slide it up, down, left, or right to a new position. So this is a really simple transformation to understand. So in this question, it says graph the image of the figure using the transformation given. And here, this is described in words. Go 1 unit to the right and 5 units up. So let's take point Q, go 1 to the right, and then 5 up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So point Q goes here. Now, there is a very particular way that we write the points in transformations. If we started with point Q, after we transform it, we call it Q with an apostrophe, and that apostrophe is read out loud in English as the word prime. If you take more math classes, you'll see this word show up quite a bit. So point Q moves to point Q prime. And now you do the same thing with the other points. So let's start with R. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So R will move to R prime, and then point P, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Point P moves to P prime. And as best you can, it's kind of hard to do with this tablet, you draw, that's called the image. So the transformed shape is the image of the original shape. That's how you perform a translation. These are really easy to do, especially if it's written in words. Of course, this is math class and we don't always write things in words. Let's see some other ways to write these things down. So here we have the original shape, H, G, I, F. I guess I should really say those in alphabetical orders, but I'm not going to. And the transformed shape is down here in blue. Notice H prime, G prime, F prime, I prime. The apostrophes, this blue shape is the transformed shape. So we already have done the transformation, and the instructions say, well, you need to write down the transformation. So let's analyze what happened here. And you can use any of the points, it doesn't matter. So let's start at point G. We went 1, 2, 3 to the right, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down. So if we wanted to write it, we could say, just in words, go 3 to the right and 7 down. And that's perfectly fine. However, notice the instructions, well, it says to use ordered pair notation. Well, what does that mean? Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to, instead of using English, because we're math people, and math people are lazy and they don't like to write things in English, 3 to the right means plus 3. Left is negative, right is positive, like you're used to. So since you're going to the right, this means 3 to the right. Positive 3 means 3 to the right. Well, 7 down, just like you're used to, when you go down on the XY plane, that's negative. So if I just write the two numbers in parentheses in an ordered pair, and you know what we're talking about, you know that you're dealing with a translation, you can interpret this and you know automatically that this means go to the right 3, go down 7. So it's actually easier to understand if you write it in words, but again, math people like to omit words when they can to save a little bit of time. So 3 to the right, 7 down is what this transformation, or what this translation is. Now, let's look at one more example of how you can write these down. So here we have another example. Now, be careful, it's easy to make a mistake. We are not going from the blue shape to the black one. We go from S to S prime, always, from the letter to the letter with the apostrophe. So let's see what happened here. And I don't have to use S, by the way. I could use R, I could use Q, I could use P. In fact, let's use P. That's not in the way. So we go to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So to the left 5, and then up 2. So if you wanted to write it in words, it's really easy. Left 5, up 2. If you used ordered pair notation like the last problem, you'd say -5 because we went to the left, +2 because we went up 2. But this says use arrow notation. So what is arrow notation? This is when you connect this to algebra. Like what algebraic operations did you use? So here's how you always write this. You say, take the point xy. Then you draw an arrow. This means you're transforming the point xy. And then you take your ordered pair notation and you say, take the x value and subtract 5. Take the y value and add 2. Now, you can check to see that this really is what we did in this problem. For example, take point P, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So point P is 4, -5. And let's do what this says. Okay, 4 minus 5 is -1. -5 plus 2 is -3. Well, where's -1, -3? -1, 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's here. That's P prime. So this arrow notation is useful when you're doing algebra. So anyway, those are the three ways that you can write transformations in words, using an ordered pair, or using arrow notation in a bit of algebra. Anyway, hope that helped. That's how you deal with translations.